WFM 91.7.
Good morning and welcome to Political Arena on Women Radio 91.7. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama. Thank you very much for joining us today on Political Arena. Political Arena is where we discuss politicking in Nigeria. Today we're discussing Roadmap to 2023, utilizing women voter power in elections. Roadmap to 2023, utilizing women voter power in elections. Recent data on the women's participation in the 2023 general elections shows that of the 1,100 senatorial candidates, only 8.4% of them, and that's 92 of them, are women. And of the 3,114 House of Reps candidates, only 9.2, which is 286 in number, are women. To add to this, according to the Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Tallinn, 74% of women voted in the 2019 elections. Only 74%. Only 74% of women voted in the 2019 elections. And that tells you that there's quite a number of women that can be voted for or that can vote in future. So if 74% voted in the 2019 elections, she's encouraging women to do better. She spoke recently at the recently concluded Voice of Women Conference Awards and Awards 2022, where she encouraged women to do better and exercise their civic responsibility in the coming elections in view of the 2023 general elections. Now, today we're discussing Roadmap to 2023, utilizing women voter power in elections. And I'm speaking with Honorable Barrister Juliet Ikhayere, ADC House of Representatives candidates, AMAC and Bwari Federal Constituency, FCT. Good morning, Barrister Juliet. Thank you very much for joining us on Political Arena.
Good morning. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Yes, it's great to have you. Thank you very much for joining us. First, I want to say congratulations on being the ADC House of Representatives candidate, AMAC and Bwari Federal Constituency. You know, I'm excited about hearing that, and I just want to know how you feel about that. How do you feel about the journey so far?
Oh, you see, my journey is a unique one because of how we got here. But I feel it's a mixed feeling. I feel excited standing in the gap of a lot of women, and not just because I'm a woman, but I also feel excited because I'm standing in the gap of young women, because currently in Nigeria, I'm the youngest candidate in Nigeria's history to ever run for the seat of the House of Representatives in this country. And that's thanks to the not too young to run. Yes, I feel excited about that one. Secondly, it's also, I tweeted about this not too long ago, so I also feel it's a lonely journey. I'll be so excited that come 2026, what we are doing today, we encourage a lot of young women and a lot of women and a lot of youth to come on board. It's so lonely. The expectations are high. And what are the expectations? Oh, for you to even have the mind to run for office, you must be rich, or somebody is crowdfunding, or somebody is giving you that money. So the challenges are numerous. And then when you come looking so beautiful, oh, she's fine. Like, are they the issues? And that's why most time I tell you, hey, before you come to me, and in fact, before I even tell you about me, I first of all tell you, what are you expecting from me? And most time they just tell me, what you want for. I say, I should expect you to tell me what I would do differently. So we have a lot of, I listed 4 issues that are affecting us that have made me sad today. One is the lack of voters' education. Can you imagine some people still ask, when is the election day? It's the same with the press. So then when you hear talks like that, you already know, oh wow, there's indeed a lack of voters' education that I don't know who to refer to. Is it the older ones who have actually benefited from this lack of education, who did not take time to educate people? And most time when I engage the INEC, that's what I did. In fact, last week I was moderating a session with the chairman of voters information. I didn't find it very exciting. In fact, I found it to be a moment to get to engage. But when you ask questions, people are like, you are asking too much questions. But the questions are, why is INEC not taking out time now to inform the voters at polling units, the numbers of registered voters, the point of voting. They start giving these people information. Is it an intentional means to actually keep the people, I don't know, docile?
All right, Barrister Juliet, I hear you and I see where you're coming from. I definitely see where you're coming from. But let's link this to the subject at hand. But before I go into that, the number to call to ask Barrister Juliet any questions or to join the conversation in general is 07000 917 917. 07000 917 917. You can also send in a text or WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. 0703 175 6537. Once again, my name is Somto Titilayo Ajamma. You're tuned into Political Arena on Women Radio 91.7, and I'm speaking with Honorable Barrister Juliet Ikhayere, ADC House of Representatives candidate, AMAC and Bwari Federal Constituency, Federal Capital Territory. All right, now we're speaking about utilizing women voter power in elections. Now, I'm coming back to you, Barrister Juliet. You're highlighting the fact that there's so much voter illiteracy, so to speak. And I'm using that term because obviously if there's no education, then there's illiteracy at this point. So if there's so much voter illiteracy, would you say that there is more voter illiteracy with women? Now, I'm asking this again because we're speaking today about utilizing women voter power. Would you say that with women, there's more voter illiteracy than there is with men?
Oh yes, because recently I was speaking at my Women Manifesto program and I highlighted a lot of things, and the reaction we got was that, oh, indeed, they never had understood politics in this light before. So there's a lot of conversation over the years that women have not had with each other, and one of them is the fact that they just see politicians as how a roadmap to getting, some of them see the politicians as a roadmap to getting immediate gratification than looking for how to channel their pains into inquiring from the politicians what they should do differently or what they should expect.
Absolutely.
So most times the expectations are, you don't come meet us, wait till you get for us, or we no go answer you because you no get the money to give us. Instead of saying, how would you champion a woman's cause, that when a woman cries out for issues relating to her body, maternity issues, the high mortality rate, you're talking about issues relating to our makeup, that's part of the health sector.
Exactly.
You're talking about issues of cancer. How do you get to hear the voice of women? You're talking about gender issues. You're talking about abuse. You're talking about how can a woman get access to quick loans so she can be able to contribute to her family. How these are intelligent interactions you expect to hear from women, but no, the gap is much.
So let me now ask you this.
Yeah.
Highlighting this is so important in the world that we live in today, because we've heard this particular saying, this saying I'm about to say now so many times, that women make up more than half of the Nigerian population. So Absolutely. They should be allowed to vote. They should not be restricted in any type of way to vote for the candidate that they want. But herein lies the question. If they don't know who these candidates are, what their track record is, what their agenda is for women and for, the nation in general, then how do they make a wise decision? Now, that leads me to my next question. How can they now be further educated? How can they be better educated? What's the way to hack this current gap that we have with women in particular, when it comes to voter illiteracy?
Okay. You see, why I'm even here in the race today is because of the unique way I handled my last election. I'm actually, this is the second time running this year. I ran for councillor in Kubwa Ward, and I was the only woman who ran. And because the party saw such unique traits, in fact, today I'm trending on social media because I've been able to identify our audience who actually understand these things and how to bring in education into our election system in this country.
Absolutely.
I've been doing things uniquely. And what I do is that I print out my flyers, and in these flyers, we have our manifesto. We already know that the women, us as women, we do not have much funds, and we don't have godmothers who actually will say, okay, I will champion your cause, not for a selfish reason, but to actually promote women. Now you do not have that. So, and you cannot be able to reach a large audience, but except through God's grace. This is actually a platform which I don't even know how this platform came about, but look at me today, stepping up to actually be here. So what we did was that we printed the flyers. We actually said, okay, we'll go to meet women, we'll go to the churches, and then you hear things like, please, don't give me that flyer. I don't want to read. Then what then do you want? So there are even means of educating these women. But the issue is that have women accepted, because these were the issues we discussed at the Manifesto's conference, not just 3 days back. And because the question was, women, why don't you support yourselves? So there's an issue that I don't know how we can be able to, I think we need to preach more of love amongst ourselves. And we need to actually give more, even, okay, now, I'm in the race now.
Yes.
We are sharing flyers. We are being accessible. Come and meet us. But you will see, I will tell you from experience, it's been tough. It's been tough. Because even the male candidates are not even speaking. There's no conference you invite me to. There's no program you invite me to. Juliet will step up. I tell people, I came on, I was begged to actually come in. Yes. I'm a level practitioner. I was begged. You know, when a party says, Barrister Juliet, come and represent women. We want you. We cannot allow your light to die without people listening to you. Come. And I was like, there's no funds. And they were like, oh, we'll support you. I said, okay. But I will give my creativity. And that was it. So now these manifestos help to even educate these women. Take this flyer and read, but no. Okay, give us your church members or your market men. No way. Can you please take us to this place? Just give us audience. They will say, no, our meeting people go say we don't collect money. I was like, if you have integrity and they know you have integrity, tell them this candidate, she's a young woman. Minus even the fact she's a young woman, she did not give you money. We've never had a woman running for this office. She has no woman has ever run. So they already understand that you don't even have a woman president to even say she has done bad.
Exactly.
There's no woman in the seat. So what are you saying?
All right.
They come from here, you counter it. They come from here, you counter it. At the end of the day, you see, they'll say, oh, there's nothing we did do, but we go try. Just find something. When you hear statements like this, they're discouraging.
Because it emphasizes the fact that they're more about immediate gratification, as you stated earlier.
There's something about it that there's this repellence when, okay, you've calmed down, you've been humble. Let's get to work. The issue now is not about, is the woman a girl, a female, a shapely person? Forget about her look and look into her intention. Let it be that you are not even helping her, you are helping your daughter. I tell you, if you block this road today, you are blocking another generation of a woman who will step out at 28. I'm just 28.
That's 100% true. That's 100% true.
You're blocking it, and men are watching. You go into conversation. Okay, I was in a program recently that has caused a high sensation in FCT. I was on Brekete Family, and everybody that knows Brekete Family knows it's one of the most popular radio stations. In that station, it was a man that gave us this inroad. People are watching. How many women can say, Juliet, come to our association and talk to our women?
Okay, Barrister Juliet, here's the thing now. You've mentioned all these limitations, particularly the major one, which you said women seem to be more focused on immediate gratification. And that's one reason, that's one thing. And if I'm getting you correctly, you said that's one thing that men capitalize on. Because they since they have more funds, they can easily part with these funds because they think they can garner the support of these women by immediately gratifying them at those points in time. I don't want to say, oh, they give food, they give, but you know exactly what I mean. Now, let's talk solution since we know what the challenge is. Let's talk solution since we already know that, okay, this and this and this is what is largely, I don't want to say partly, what is largely responsible for where we are today, particularly with the low voter power when it comes to women candidates, female candidates supporting, when it comes to women supporting female candidates. Yes, that's what I mean to say. But you'll answer that in 1 second. This is still Women Radio 91.7, and this is still Political Arena, where we discuss politicking in Nigeria. If you're just tuning in, you're welcome. Today we're discussing Roadmap to 2023, utilizing women voter power in elections. Roadmap to 2023, utilizing women voter power in elections. Once again, I'm speaking with Honorable Barrister Juliet Ikhayere, ADC House of Representatives candidate, AMAC and Bwari Federal Constituency, FCT, Abuja. And to a large extent, we're talking about what it is that can be done better to garner women voter or garner voter participation for female candidates from women in particular. You know how people say women supporting women don't support women enough, and all of that. Now we're talking about how we can better that state of things in today's world, particularly in view of 2023 elections. If you're just tuning in, feel free to call in, ask questions. The number to call is 07000 917 917. What do you think can be done better for female candidates to be supported by women? 07000 917 917. And you can also send in a text or a WhatsApp message to 0703 175 6537. Now, back to you, Barrister Juliet. What is the solution? What's the way forward to getting women to support female candidates? And this is not, we're not looking at it from that women supporting women point of view, because sometimes people say that and they're not educated enough to understand that as much as we want to support women, we can't just support women just because. We need to support women because we know that they can do the job. They are capable and they can be effective in these positions to turn things around. So what is the solution? What's the way forward?
Okay, one is that women need to be open to hearing about or reading or researching. Yeah, so when we can have women research about other women, we will not be faced with voting for just anyhow woman. You will know that you've researched about her. So we need to do more research as women. But the thing is that we have, like you rightly said, there's a high rate of illiteracy. So it's something that has it will take a long time. So what I decided as my solution is to focus on our young girls. Yes, our young girls are clearly far apart from the electoral, most of the electoral system, yes. So a lot of our young girls, so if you can harness these young people and give them an access road. Now, what's this access road? Giving them enlightenment on how they can join politics if they choose to, through the ward level, the local government level, and then the state level. Give them inroads, protect them, make them feel welcome. Let it not be like you are like a bottleneck against them from coming in. Because I tell people, as much as you open your doors to be able to allow women come in, come on, it will be much, and it will not be a lonely path for us also. That's one solution. Love, spreading the love and allowing a lot of women come in, giving them, then enlightening them and protecting them. Because some see politics as a place whereby you'll be faced with harassment, intimidation, and a whole lot more. So when we have other women who can give the younger ones or your mates, because for me, I'm also a young person, so giving your fellow young people this coverage or a sense of belonging, it goes a long way. Then, so after voters' education, they need to read more, research more. And then thirdly, the government needs to assure women of their safety. Because a lot of young girls will be like, okay, how am I sure that I'm going to be safe? So most time I tell them, in 2012, I was just barely 18 years when I supervised one of the local government elections in Edo State. It was a very close election. And I was not even put on the list. I actually went and told INEC, in case they are looking for an adult staff, I am here. I'm here. Okay. And so that's just it. So we need a lot of security for our young women, our women, so they can feel protected. Then another thing is that women, I keep saying it, you do not need to fight your husbands or quarrel them or be arrogant when you know you want to support a woman. You can be polite about it, but when you go to the polling booth, because it's obvious and it's shown that women come out for elections. But the thing is that go there, most of them are scared. They'll say, my spouse says this. So try as much as possible not to fight, not to argue. On the election day, vote for a competent woman. That's what I usually say, vote for a competent woman. So these are just solutions amongst many. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Barrister Juliet. Thank you very much for that. So what are some, you mentioned that the government should commit to protecting these women in electoral situations. What are some more institutional or societal frameworks now that you think can be put in place to enhance increased voter participation of women for female candidates in the upcoming 2023 elections?
Okay. I must commend what Yaga is doing, how they go about supervising elections, including women in politics. But the thing is that we need a lot of CSOs that actually will just give themselves on the election day to actually observe. We need a lot of observers so that this will actually encourage people to know that, oh yes, a lot of CSOs are going to be available to capture events, because we need a lot of evidence. Because we know one thing that has actually kept the electoral system down is because the way it has been over the years is because there's no much evidence captured. And sometimes when evidence are even captured, you see that they are harassed and all that. So we need to actually, the government, yes, for this institution, including the force, that's the security personnel, they need to actually be upright. They shouldn't be aiding such votes buying on election day, so that people can feel part of the system. Because when the security are working with the other opposition camp, it makes people scared. They become jittery. So these are the things that makes people avoid polling units on election day. So we need upright security personnel. That's one. We also be saying this. INEC needs to even put gadgets in place to actually cover the election process. It's a necessity. We do not want it to just be on the body of the CSOs or political parties, because now when you're giving so much to the political parties to do, you're actually giving them the ability to do certain things, like you give them the power to undo and do. But when the INEC already is in charge of coverage of all polling units in this country, come on, it's just when you go to the court, you just be asking the court, please, can INEC give us a footage?
Exactly.
Of what happened in 001 polling units. So you see, all these things are the issues. So INEC needs to step up. The security personnel needs to step up. The CSOs need to partner more. And then politicians, yes. As much as I don't like saying it, because I'm now, by virtue of my calling, like I said, I never wanted to run.
Of course. You're now one of them. You're now a politician.
Now one of them. So the truth is that I make sure I put out my profile out there so people can know what I've been doing. Other than that, it's just a sacrifice. I keep saying it's a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice and nothing more. Other than that, I'm enjoying my legal practice. I'm even making impact there, and it's the same impact I want to carry back to the society. So anything that would taint my integrity matters to me. Matters very much to me. My name as a barrister is already something that I cherish before politics. So now back to the politicians. They need to also understand that what you tell your voters matters. What you tell your voters matters. Do you sensitize them to go and kill or maim? What do you tell them? Someone like me, everyone knows during my last election, please just beg them, canvass peacefully. Tell them what to do rightly. Tell them how to vote, but do not force, do not harass, do not intimidate, do not carry arms. These are the things that politicians need to sensitize their agents, their voters, and their people. We need to spread more love. Juliet Ikhayere Foundation, which I have, is about peace building, civic education, and sensitizing a lot of people, our young generation, on the next way to go. We can't continue like this. And I'm sure when we get it right for peace building, we know we have the mindset of peace building. We won't have such harassment, and people will not be scared of the polling units on election day. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Barrister Juliet. So, in your opinion, if all these things are put into place, then you can say that women will feel safer and freer to be able to come out on election days to vote for their preferred female candidates.
Absolutely. They'll feel safe, yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us on Political Arena today. We're right about that time where we need to sign out. And I must say that it's been an intelligent conversation. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Samantha. God bless you.
Yes. Please have a lovely day.
And you too.
It is very evident that women do make more than half of the Nigerian population, and so can actually be the change that we want to see when it comes to turning around the tide of voting in the elections. So According to Barrister Juliet Ikhayere, politicians need to sensitize their voters on how to vote right so that more people can know what to do and vote in the right way and avoid violence and get the elections in the right manner, get the results of the elections from the right manner and in the right manner. Thank you very much for tuning in to Women Radio 91.7 Political Arena. And next time on Political Arena will be another Wednesday by 11:30 a.m. My name is Sumto Titilayo Ajama. Thank you to Esther Alaribe for her support as well. And good morning.
WFM 91.7.